I guess you love movies. I do too. Hi guys, and welcome back to another movie review. Again, it has been a while since my last video. I'm not really sure where I'm at with this channel currently. I've been very inactive. Haven't really had any ideas of what to do with the channel at the moment. There's just been very few films recently coming out in theatres that I've wanted to watch. I haven't been watching as many movies recently. I have sort of avenues of where I watch films, from Netflix to just normal television, recording stuff like that, and really there hasn't been much in the last few weeks that I've actually wanted to see, and it's been me just watching a lot of stuff I've already seen. So inspiration wise, I've been a little bit sort of sparse in that sense. And I do need to try and find some other direction for this channel, because I feel like just general theatre reviews will eventually diminish in that sense, because I just don't see there being too many films coming up this year, outside of obvious things like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, for example, that are really going to grab my attention. There'll be the new Star Wars film later in the year that I will review as well, but honestly I'm not that hyped for that, even though I will see it. So we'll see what happens, but there is definitely going to be a change in this channel sooner rather than later. I am going to university as well in September, but I might even do an update video maybe soon, just sort of giving you an idea of what's going on there. But this is a review. I'll get off that subject now, and this is a review of Avengers Endgame. This is the biggest movie possibly in the entire MCU history. They're bringing all of these storylines together now. This is the end of this phase of the MCU, and this is a big reset. And this we pick up with the team members after the events of Infinity War, after half of the population of Earth has been decimated, and they're all at their all-time low, and it's some serious soul searching going on here of how to reverse the events of Infinity War and how to get their friends and family and all these people that they loved back, and and get back to where they were before. And I was looking forward to this movie. It's I did enjoy Infinity War. If you saw my review of it a little while back, I did enjoy the movie. It did have its issues, but overall I enjoyed it. I was actually quite sceptical about Infinity War going in, because I thought there's just way too many characters in this movie. I don't know how they're going to juggle it, but they did a pretty good job overall of making it work, and I think they even did a better job here with Endgame, because I actually thought this was a very, very good movie. And it really got me, and it really did a lot of things that I didn't expect it to do. So what did I enjoy about Avengers Endgame? Well, and I'm not going to go into the cast. Normally I do like sort of little cast rundown. By the way, that's not going to happen, because that will literally take all day, because everyone is in this movie, as I said in Infinity War review. So what I enjoy specifically is just these characters. Okay, we've grown to love them. We've grown to enjoy their sort of camaraderie, and it continues with this movie. The Russo brothers managed to interject some really interesting comedy into the film and make it fun, even with the sort of sort of that hanging, how their grief and how their guilt is hanging over them throughout the film. Obviously, with the events of Infinity War, they definitely managed to add that comedy really well. I really enjoy what they do with characters like Thor and Hulk, and I really enjoy those little things that they do in order to make the film a lot lighter and give you a little bit of a comedy edge to it. Also, the action sequences were very good overall. The massive battles, obviously a lot of it's CGI, but there are some interesting sort of closer combat scenes that worked quite well for me. I thought the movie was very epic in scale and size. I saw it in IMAX, and it was very big and definitely a spectacle to behold, most definitely. Overall as well, you had a lot of good performances in this movie, specifically from Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. I won't go into it too much, but he gives a very complex and emotional performance in this movie. He has a child in this movie now, and their relationship is really cute and adorable. And I really enjoy a lot of the performances in this film, because a lot of this is really the most emotional Avengers film, and possibly one of the more emotional Marvel films, mainly because of all of what's happened in previous movies and how that they truly lost in Infinity War, and how they're trying to rebuild themselves as a team, as people. And that is what I think that the movie does well, is to show them as human beings, and not as heroes for a change. Specifically Robert Downey Jr. As Tony Stark. They really break him down and show him as a human being, and these small moments that mean so much to him, because he's a man, he's a person. Yeah, he's a superhero, but at the end of the day, he's like anybody else. He has people that he loves and cares about, and when they're taken away from him, they really, affect him, like all the other characters in this movie. And I think they do a good job at showing how each character means to each other, and sort of adding that human element to the bigger picture of this, epic superhero film, which I really enjoyed. I think that there are a few negatives to the film. I think the first act is very exposition heavy, and I think it makes it feel a bit clunky at times. There's a lot of scenes where people are just talking in rooms, and there isn't anything much going on. But I guess that has to happen in order for them to process the events of the last film, and so that we sort of know their thought process and where they're going to go with it. But it did feel a little clunky in that first act. I thought that it took its time to get going, but once it did get going and got into its stride, I thought that it really worked. And the ending of the film is a gut punch. It's emotional, it's powerful, and you realise how much you actually care about these characters. And they've managed to build a very, build up these characters in a way that really pays off at the end of this film. And I really enjoyed that, and I really thought that it surprised me how much I felt it at the end. I'm not the biggest Marvel fan in the world. I enjoy the movies. I have a few of them on Blu-ray here. I'm not the biggest fanboy in the world, but I did enjoy the movie overall, and it definitely gave me that emotional satisfaction. The action was good. The comedy came in the right moments. And even if the first act was a bit clunky and a bit exposition heavy, I can forgive that, because overall I think they really wrapped up this universe very well in this phase. And I think whatever's come next, whether I'm interested in it or not, I think this period in the MCU has been wrapped up in a very good way by Endgame. And overall I really enjoyed the movie. I'm probably going to give it something like an 8.5. 8.5 out of 10 I think works. So there you go, there's my review of Avengers Endgame. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, like, subscribe, drop your comments down in the section below. What did you think of this movie? I sort of kept it spoiler free, even though it has been out a little while now. But I may do a spoiler sort of discussion, but I doubt it. But what may come soon is just a discussion video of what I'm doing with this channel, because I really don't know at the moment. But hopefully you enjoyed this review, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Goodbye.